What's up, everybody? Today we are back with another sleeping pad review. Today we're going to talk about the Therm-a-Rest NeoAir XLite. This is another extremely popular choice and essentially the gold standard in weight and space saving for sleeping pads. It's great for the lightweight minimalist backpacker out there, and let's see if it's right for you. If you're new to the channel, my name's Ben and I'm part of the team here at the Adventure Junkies, where we help people like you find the right gear to get outdoors. If you want to learn more, visit our website at www.theadventurejunkies.com. Now, let's talk about what you're really here for. The Therm-a-Rest NeoAir XLite. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Pop this open. All right, ta-da, here it is. Now, as you can see, this is a standard 32-ounce water bottle. It's a little thicker, but it's definitely shorter. Overall, this is a good size for me when I'm sizing a sleeping pad. I think that's great. So let's unroll it here, see what we've got. So, included in the package here, we have a stuff sack, which is great. We have some instructions and some information about the warranty. Save that. We also have a field repair kit. This is a must when you're traveling with an inflatable sleeping pad, especially on a multi-day journey. If you pop a hole, gotta fix it. So that's good. And then this is going to be the pump sack. So I want to talk about the pump sack for a second before we go ahead and inflate this. These are becoming more and more popular with inflatable sleeping pads, and that's for good reason. Not only does it make it much easier to inflate these things, at the end of a long day at high altitude, the last thing you want to be doing is wasting your breath, blowing up your sleeping pad while you could be cooking dinner. These also serve another purpose. When you exhale, like you're blowing up a sleeping pad, there's moisture in the breath that you're exhaling, right? So as you blow this up, if I were to put my mouth right on the valve and blow air into this, I'm blowing moisture into the sleeping pad that may or may not ever come out of there. The more you do that, you're really opening up for the potential to get mold growth in your sleeping pad. And not only that, the moisture degrades the sensitive fibers that are inside these sleeping mats. So when you use the pump sack, it's actually helping to eliminate the amount of moisture that you're breathing into the sleeping pad. And that's really important. So when in doubt, use a pump sack. Let's fold this out. As you can see, this is a mummy style, so it's a little wider in the shoulders, a little more narrow at the feet. So we have the valve here with a little warning label. All right, so let's see how this works. So just pop this open. It's a little harder than I would like, but that's all right. And now the pump sack attaches to the valve by pushing over top. All right, well, done this before, and it never gets easier. I'll talk about this a little later, but this is not my favorite valve system. I've used many sleeping pads, and this is one of the more frustrating valve systems to work, but alas, we will get there. Or maybe we never will. I don't know. All right, so you do need to, when we fill this thing, you're going to screw the valve counterclockwise, and then this pump sack, albeit an extremely frustrating one. Ah, I got it. So The tendency is to want to use this wide tab to push it down. It's much easier if you push it right in the center and just push it on right like that. So, we've got our pump sack attached. Now let's see just how easy it is to inflate here. So when you're using a pump sack, you want to blow into the bag from, say, 6 inches to a foot away. Fill it, roll it, let's see how it goes. Okay, the airflow is easy. Really quick. All right. So there we go. We're all inflated. I do want to talk about this valve one more time because I made a mistake when I was blowing it up. You'll see on the close-up that the valve has this little thing here with arrows that are pointing one direction. So the direction that those arrows are pointing is the way you turn it to deflate the pad. So if you have them turned in the counterclockwise direction, when you're inflating it, you will actually be pumping it and losing air at the same time. So you just want to make sure you turn that clockwise and it won't let air out, but it will let air in. So pull the pump sack off, then turn the black part of the valve clockwise. You're all sealed and good to go. So the regular size of the NeoAir XLite that we're looking at today retails for $199.95. And it's manufactured right here in the United States. Now it is made out of globally sourced materials, meaning that the materials that it's made out of were sourced outside of the United States. It weighs in at a mere 12 ounces or 340 grams. It's 2.5 inches or 6.4 centimeters thick and has an R value of 4.2. It's actually advertised as having one of the best, if not the best, warmth to weight ratio on the market today. The R value is how manufacturers rate how well sleeping pads insulate you from the ground, and it's usually measured on a scale from 0 to 6, with 6 being the warmest and 0 being nothing at all. When you sleep directly on the ground actually sucks the body heat right out of you, and that's why if you've ever slept without a sleeping pad, you can get quite cold. And that's why it's important to use a sleeping pad rather than, you know, just for comfort. The R value can give you an idea of how well a sleeping pad will resist that heat transfer. Since the NeoAir XLite has an R value of 4.2, we would recommend this pad for 3-season camping. Usually if you're winter camping, you want a sleeping pad with an R value of 5 or greater, or maybe you want to double up 2 sleeping pads with a smaller R value. So as I mentioned, we're looking at the regular size today, but it's also available in a small, large, regular wide, as well as a women's specific size. The regular size that we're looking at today measures 72 inches long, and that's 183 centimeters, or 20 inches wide at its widest, and that's 51 centimeters. It's also a mummy shape, and that means that it's wider at the shoulders and head, and it tapers off down near the feet. So this pad is made of 30D RIP HT nylon, and that helps give it its lightweight, but not necessarily any added strength. The D refers to denier, and without going too far into it, denier refers to the thickness of the fibers in the material. It's a little more complicated than that, but inflatable sleeping pads are susceptible to punctures, and this pad is no different. If you look up reviews online, there's plenty of users complaining about getting punctures out on the trail. To be honest, that's sort of just the nature of an inflatable sleeping pad. If you look up any sleeping pad on the market that's inflatable, you're going to see reviews where people have popped them. So it's important to take care when you're using an inflatable sleeping pad. Make sure you inflate it and deflate it either in your tent, on your tent's footprint, or on top of your sleeping bag. You definitely don't want to do it on the bare ground. That's definitely going to increase your chance of springing a leak. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit the like button so more people like you can find it. So right off the bat, and this has been a thing with this air mattress for a long time, it's noisy. And there's no way around it. And, you know, it feels okay, but it does feel a little plasticky. It's also pretty slick, which is fine, but, you know, if you're rolling around on that in the middle of the night, you're gonna hear it. There's really no way about it. I'm gonna go ahead and lay on this. I am 6'2" tall, and this regular size sleeping mat is 6 inches long. So this isn't going to be the right size for me. I'm going to need the long version, but that's fine. I'll still get a good idea of how comfy it is. Noisy. All right. You know, it's pretty comfortable. It's definitely a more minimalist style, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm a side sleeper, and when I'm on my side in this pad, I don't hit the ground. Even when I sit up, it keeps you off the ground really well, and that's really going to help with warmth, the warmth of this pad. All right, so now let's deflate it. One of my biggest pet peeves about sleeping pads is how easy or hard it is to get it into the stuff sack. I feel like often companies are like, let's make the smallest stuff sack possible so we can look like a smaller product on the shelf. You know, people want space-saving items. But that infuriates me when the stuff sack does not fit the product. If I can't get the sleeping pad into the stuff sack, it really bugs me. All right, so let's go ahead and deflate this. You are going to twist the wings to deflate, like it says on the sleeping pad, and there we go. All right, so it didn't deflate itself, that's for sure. So we're gonna have to push this air out of here. All right. So not the easiest to get air out of, but not the hardest, not too bad. So let's flip it over. We're gonna roll it back up, stick it in its stuff sack, and see how it fits. Okay. So there's actually still a little air in here, which is making it a little tricky to roll up, but we will get it. And let's not forget the stuff sack. You know, I don't fold these things up when I roll them back up. I just kind of stick them in here, which do just fine. Pushing out the last of the air there. Got my repair kit. And let's get it back in the stuff sack and see how it does. It's a little tight, but no big deal. Seems to fit just fine. All right, and voila, all packed up, not too bad. All right, everyone, just to kind of wrap things up here with the Therm-a-Rest NeoAir XLite sleeping pad. It is $199.95, 12 ounces or 340 grams in weight. It's 2.5 inches or 6.4 centimeters thick. Although when you're laying on it, it feels a little thicker. Definitely no shoulder bumping on the ground or hips bumping on the ground. It has an R value of 4.2, giving it one of the best, if not the actual best, warmth to weight ratios on the market today. It's 72 inches or 183 centimeters long and 20 inches or 51 centimeters wide. So things I really like, again, warm, lightweight, cannot be beat. Comfortable also. When I'm laying on my side, you know, I don't have any hip or shoulder bumping the ground. If I had to look at downsides, you know, it's noisy, it's a little slippery, it's not the most stable sleeping pad on the market, so if you're near the edge of it, you know, you might feel the air push to one side. The other thing is, the valve is not my favorite. Hooking the pump sack to the valve is kind of a pain, and deflating it is not the easiest, but overall, not a huge deal. I think this is another great product from Therm-a-Rest. I think this is definitely for the lightweight minimalist backpackers out there. The people counting grams, but who still want something comfortable, who aren't bothered by things like noise and maybe the nuisance of deflating the sleeping pad. Once again, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button so more people like you can find it, and happy hiking. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't know what gear to bring hiking, or maybe you've just wasted money on the wrong gear in the past, then you definitely need to get a copy of this book. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Hiking Gear, and we've created it with the total beginner in mind. It'll help you learn what gear you need versus what gear is just nice to have versus what gear you don't need. It covers everything you need to know, including how to choose each item and specific product recommendations based on your budget, gender, hiking destination, and more. You can pick it up on Amazon, and it's available in paperback and for the Kindle. Check out the link in the description below. Happy hiking!
I'm recording. Amy, come on.
He wants to be in it.